My name is Anant Agarwal. I'm the president and founder of edX. edX is a online learning venture where we offer free courses from some of the best universities and professors in the world, like professors from MIT, Harvard, Berkeley, Georgetown, University of Texas, and so on, and some great universities around the world as well. Delft University from the Netherlands, ETH and EPFL from Switzerland, and so on. These courses are free. edX has 1.7 million learners from every country in the world. We have courses on our platform in subjects ranging from engineering to sciences to humanities to history to medicine to business to law. And learners can take these courses at any time. And if they pass the course, they also get a certificate. So this is just a really great opportunity for learners all over the world. Boston is a land of revolution, and we've had the Boston Tea Party and a number of other revolutions here. However, there's a revolution taking place right now under our very noses in education. And education is one field that could really use revolution. It really hasn't changed in 400 years. Our education researchers certainly know a lot. They've researched a lot and they've understood a lot and they've written great papers. However, we practitioners have not applied much of that learning. And the last biggest revolution in education was the printing press, when textbooks came out in the mid-1400s. With online learning, we can create a new revolution in education by combining video technology and interactive technology, instant grading. We can create a new experience for a millennial generation of student who is very comfortable with online technologies, and they love game-like experiences. So we can make education very engaging, we can make it very effective and efficient, because now you can have computers do things like grading exams and things like that can take away a lot of the effort that humans have to put in to grade many of these programs or questions and answers and so on. So I really feel that online education is this new revolution that is happening, that is not only increasing access to students around the world to take courses from all over the world, at the same time, it is also improving the quality of education on our own campuses, because on our campuses, many of the professors are doing what is called flipping the classroom or blending the classroom, where they're bringing in a combination of online technologies and in-person technologies to help students learn better. So one way to get better student outcomes is to engage students better. When you have an engaged student, you have a better learner. And students sitting in a classroom taking a lecture from a professor for an hour or an hour and a half, it does not really engage the students beyond a certain amount of time. In fact, studies show that the attention span tends to be on the order of 6-7 minutes. And here we are, lecturing at students for a whole hour or an hour and a half. So what we do on our MOOC platform is offer a game-like experience where students can interact with learning. So for example, we have videos, and we interleave the videos with interactive exercises. And these exercises are automatically graded by the computer, so students get instant feedback. And this instant feedback is a key aspect of the gaming experience, where students can immediately see the effect of something that they've done. If they want to shoot down a spaceship, I can immediately see whether I've missed the spaceship or whether I have succeeded. And we give them instant feedback with green check marks if they get something right. And students are telling us that they go to bed at night dreaming of the green check mark. So we're making it a fun experience for students. We also have game-like laboratories where we use simulations and simulation technology to create virtual labs for the students, where it's almost like playing a video game as they play with these laboratories. So together, instant feedback and the virtual labs provide this game-like experience to the students. So it's not so much a degree-based model to a skill-based model. When degrees were supposed to encapsulate the competency, or supposed to imply that a student had a given set of skills. I think what we're moving towards is a a realm where students can get content from a number of sources. And then they can take exams and tests which are measures of their competency. So first of all, we can unbundle this whole concept of learning and content, getting the content, and assessments and certifications. We're unbundling the two. And so there, we are separating seed time from competency from assessment. Now the second part is, what about degree programs? Now we are unbundling degrees as well. So degrees tend to be 4 or 5 year programs. So why should it be a bundled 4 or 5 year program? Why not have students take a MOOC for 1 year and then come to campus and spend 2 years on campus, and then leave campus and spend a year working, taking MOOCs as their work? So we can even think of unbundling time in this manner. And so the degree can be thought of as being unbundled into multiple sources of information and interaction for the students. Well, it's not just the Arab world that needs a revolution in education. I think the world needs a revolution in education. But for the Arab world in particular, I think here's a chance to be able to get content from some of the great universities around the world. And when nations are looking to create jobs and skills oftentimes in STEM-based fields, in communication-based fields, and so on, they have a chance to very rapidly create the content and the curricula and get that from outside and incorporate it locally by translating it and involving local teachers to create local content. So getting MOOC content from outside can be a force multiplier and can help create a revolution in the overall educational process. But I want to point out it's very important that local faculty and local universities and schools are heavily involved in the process, where they have to create a lot of the content themselves. They have to localize the content. I don't think it's as easy as taking something from somewhere else and just using it. And so that's why we're really excited about our partnership with the Queen Rania Foundation, where the team is going to be working towards making a lot of this content accessible and supported in the local Arab world. The edX platform, as you go to edX.org, the platform is in English, but we're internationalizing the platform so that already we have courses in Mandarin, Chinese, we have courses in French, and there'll be courses in Hindi and Latin and other languages happening on our platform. At the same time, we've also internationalized the platform. So whether it's in the Arab world, in France or China, the platform will be available in local languages so that local students can interact with the platform using their language of choice. So edX is working towards internationalizing the platform at the same time. edX.org is an international platform where we have students from every single country in the world. The highest number of students we have in the African continent is from Egypt. We have 100,000 students on our platform from Africa, and a number of them are from Egypt. And we have students from every single country in the world and every single country in the Middle East already. Now these students can take courses on edX, which are currently predominantly in English. At the same time, in partnership with the Queen Rania Foundation, who have launched EdRock, which is an Arab nation platform, where courses will be available predominantly in Arabic. So there, the Arab youth can take courses in Arabic. So they will have two choices. They can come to edX.org from Syria or Egypt or Yemen and take courses in English, predominantly English, or they can go to EdRock and take similar courses or other courses produced by professors from local universities and campuses in Arabic. So they will have these choices available to them. We have edX is running now, of course, for the past couple of years, and students from Arab nations or from other parts of the world can take these courses today. So I encourage students to go to edX.org and sign up and take these great free courses. It takes seconds to sign up. And EdRock, the website is up. However, the courses will be launched in a few months. We are working with the EdRock team, who are doing a great job, and they're working with us to take some of the edX courses and translate them. And as soon as the translation process is done and the courses can be made available on the EdRock platform, then the students can sign up and do the courses in Arabic. I think X series certificates are very important. These are on edX as sequences of courses. So for example, we have a sequence of courses in computer science from MIT X. And if a student passes passes the sequence of courses, at the end of it they get an X series certificate for this program in computer science. And so it's not just one course. The students, by getting that certificate, can demonstrate accomplishment or demonstrate mastery in a discipline like computer science or aeronautical engineering or logistics or statistics and many other such fields as we launch more and more of these X series sequences. So that will be very important, as students can now demonstrate a mastery. And our hope is that if they get a sequence certificate, an X series certificate, it will help them attain jobs in those disciplines as well. So we have begun working with a number of organizations and foundations who are very interested in employment. And again, the lack of employment for students who have graduated or not is a global problem. It's a problem we have in the United States, it's a problem we have in India, it's a problem we have in the Middle East, it's a problem we have in China, it's global. I can give you one example. We are working with a foundation called Launch Code in St. Louis. And there they are taking the Harvard course, CS50X, it's Introduction to Computer Science. And Launch Code is offering support in libraries for students to come in and get support for this course. And they will also help the students place them for internships in local companies. And they have about 60 companies signed up to work with them where they can place these students for jobs. And we would be delighted to work with a number of other such organizations. We're working with a company called Aspiring Minds in India, where they're helping students get placed in jobs throughout India. And we would be delighted to work with similar organizations in the Middle East as well. For edX, our mission is about increasing access to education for students all over the world. It shouldn't matter what their caste is, what their income level is, whether they're male or female, it shouldn't matter. And so we are finding that in countries where education for women is not promoted, that many women are taking these courses. And we've heard from our friends in the Middle East that in some countries, many women cannot drive a car, for example. So because they cannot drive a car, it is more difficult for them to go to a university. And so it's much more convenient for them now to take the course online. And so I think online technology will enable people of all kinds of denominations, males, females, different ethnic backgrounds, religions, to be able to take the courses online. And just like anybody can send a tweet or a text or and so on, now we can have anybody to take a course. And education is such a basic human right. It's time we use technology to enable people to do that. We're engaged with a number of countries, with nations and foundations like the Rania Foundation, where we are doing pilots with community colleges in the United States. We are doing pilots with high schools. We did a program called High School X in Chicago, where we work with high school students. So we are doing a number of these pilot programs. And we would be delighted to work with countries and foundations to increase access to educations. And as Charlie Rose suggested in our show, to do a pilot with students in ASUD. Absolutely, would be delighted to try something out. So we are working with, as I said, a number of organizations and foundations and governments to take the courses, and also our platform to other places where people can author courses and use them locally. We are working with some of the U.S. Agencies to offer public speaking and technical writing courses in U.S. embassies around the world, so that students can come in and learn writing and reading skills, as an example. And so if USAID, we would be delighted to work with USAID if the opportunity made itself available to work with them, where they provided funding and support to make some of these things available in Egypt or other parts of the world. We would be delighted to do that. So I think some of the roadblocks are certainly our language. Our courses are predominant in English, although we have courses in many other languages like French and Chinese, Mandarin Chinese coming up. And when translations happen, it is easy enough to translate the videos, the transcripts, but it's more challenging to translate entire courses. And even if you translate the courses were created with a US student in mind or an English-speaking student in mind. And oftentimes the needs and backgrounds and requirements of a student, a poor student in Egypt or in the slums in Bombay, might be very different from the needs and requirements and backgrounds of other students. So I think we will need to begin piloting these things, start with translations, but also work towards localization. We will need to provide background support and help so that students can really succeed and learn these courses in a manner that can really help them in their lives. So with edX, we're taking a partnership approach to doing this, where edX.org is available to students all over the world to come and take courses. And what we've done is we've also made our platform available as open source. So anybody can take our platform and create local platforms for local regions. So that is what EdRock is. The Queen Rania Foundation built a team that took our platform, open source platform, and built a platform for the local region. So we are in similar discussions with a number of governments. So China did a similar thing called Xuetang X for China. France launched France Université Numérique using the edX open source platform, and EdRock. And a number of other governments are also talking to edX about launching national platforms using open source edX. And our belief is that in the same manner with the Middle East, our hope is that we can partner with foundations and other governments in the Middle East who can provide the support, and we're happy to work with them to enable access to education for their populations in each of the nations.